Now here.
Yes, that's my idea. It's a little bit empty because we're hiring people.
Hello. Hi. Hi. Thank you. Hi. Hello. See, it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, good afternoon to all, very well done for this video. It's very easy to understand, and I can say that you managed to close the circuit, so it will provide an adaptable service also for mass adoption. So CEO Mr. Philipp Sauerborn, I hope I spelled it right as well, and Dr. Jörg Werner, also employees of this office, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a pleasure for me to be here today and an honor to be welcomed for this inauguration. It is with great pride that we acknowledge that no other jurisdiction in the world can offer the level of regulatory and legal certainty as that of our country. We just heard that our regulatory framework is not an easy one. It's a very tough one, but it's a robust one, and it is one that will get you further in the long term. It is through such investment that employment opportunities of our local talent pool are created and sustained. These were the principles, along with a forward-thinking mindset fostered by the company, fit perfectly with the government's vision of forging a progressive financial services heaven, and is once more a credit to our groundbreaking philosophy to boost innovation and for it to become a main contributor to Malta's economic growth. Events like the one we are celebrating today also clearly prove that the government's proactive stance in providing a robust regulatory framework for DLT in a relatively short span of time is bearing valuable fruit. Today it is globally acknowledged that a Maltese license is one which bequests a certain amount of prestige to those operators, businesses, and investors who make the grade and acquire such a license. Here we are witnessing just one instance of the importance of this legislation. aPay Systems has just announced that it has just put forward to the MFSA an application for a license for a blockchain-based project. As a government, we welcome this significant step, which highlights the importance of a complete ecosystem. Today's event is testament that the blockchain island is not merely a buzzword, but a hard-working concept that is now yielding unprecedented results. In this fast-paced new world, we acknowledge that we need to be agile and adapt quickly to the changes of our environment in order to flourish, and therefore, our vision for innovation and ultimately the creation of a vigorous ecosystem to sustain this new reality cannot waver. With this in mind, therefore, I wish you all present here today the best for your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Malta took the risk to regulate the unregulatable. We happily joined in from day one and became one of the first VFA agents to obtain a license. We greatly benefited from that risk-taking by the government, and I think I have the unique chance now to thank Honourable Schembri for assuming that risk for Malta and for us. Regulation is the engine for mass adoption, and Malta is the flywheel or the piston of that engine. We, as aPay, we fully understand and embrace this regulation. We do it right, and it will pay off.
Yeah, today's milestone is today's event is another milestone for the realization of the blockchain island concept in Malta. After establishing a new framework, which basically puts Malta as the first country in the world to legislate in this sphere, we can now see substance operating here in Malta. We can see Dr. Werner and partners as well as aPay applying for an MFSA license and actually expanding their operations through employees here in Malta. This is something that we were looking at as a government to continue to enrich our ecosystem and continue to explore and to, I would say, tread into uncharted territories. Maybe other countries didn't have the courage that Malta had to explore these new areas, and now it's paying back. So we are very proud to be here inaugurating these offices. As we've heard, the Maltese framework is not an easy one. Maltese framework is a very robust framework, which is difficult to obtain a license, but the license that will get you long term. We are not interested in having the cake and eat it all, or having a short-term game here in Malta. Our economy is doing great. We're experiencing huge economic growth, and we want to sustain our economic growth by having long-term strategies that will bear fruit in the long term. And a robust framework will do just that. We know that even on international level, we'll continue to look at different frameworks, and they will legislate in that direction. And we are quite confident that our framework, the choice that we made, is the choice in the right direction. The fact that our framework is a robust one, and the fact that aPay managed to surpass the first step and then eventually acquiring a license would make it a perfect choice also for consumers to have the peace of mind that actually what is aPay promoting is actually there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're not only here to celebrate the officer inauguration, but also a couple of important events during the next 2 weeks. 2 shows, 2 massive shows we're doing, one in Malta, one in Singapore, and also we are celebrating the official start of the second phase of our operation. So this is why we're also here. The minister's visit was quite intimidating for me. I was quite surprised that he's an important figure. So we were initially we thought it wouldn't be so important, but then after seeing all the press and seeing all the effort around it, I think we can be really, really honored that he came here for us, especially for us, even for a short amount of time only, and we much appreciate that. He's one of the main actors from a political level who made this thing possible, the VFA framework. So without him, we wouldn't be standing here for aPay. So therefore, he was definitely a key role in bringing us where we are, bringing Malta as a country a good amount forward, and ultimately why we settled here. Later this week, we'll be attending the blockchain summit, where we have one of the biggest stands there. We will be live transacting aPay there. We will be hosting the bar, so there will be free drinks for everyone who wants to come, who wants to celebrate with us. We'll also present a couple of our cards there, Visa, MasterCard, and China UnionPay. And afterwards, we will close to immediately fly to Singapore to do another show there, the block show, which is also for 2 days. And afterwards, there's another show I think in Hong Kong. We're also going to attend. So for us now, it's about promoting, about getting the product out. And so we spent a little bit of money this year for the Blockchain Summit to have a very prominent stand bang in the middle, which makes us, I think, the biggest stand at the current summit. We are quite happy that we are in a position to represent ourselves in that way, because I think we will be in the future very important, not only in the long term, and not only the short term, but very much in the long term for the whole industry. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.